Hello and welcome to Creativity with DAIII Live. I'm your host, Don Allen III, and today we're going to continue on to part 3 of our Procreate to Cinema4D tutorial, this live YouTube series. We are live on Instagram today and we're live on YouTube as we speak. Today our goal is to continue to bring our illustration of our dragon and bring it into the three-dimensional world where lots of stuff and lights and cameras, and more specifically we're going to work on texturing, lighting. So stay tuned. Feel free to skip ahead to the end, see if you like what we have. If you don't like what we have by the end of this video, then you should probably not watch it. And with that, let's continue on to the main show. I'm just going to double check. Cool, we're live streaming and it's working. And let's go back into Cinema4D and welcome to the show. So now that means if you're here with us on Instagram, you can tune in live on YouTube as well. The choices are in your hands. All right, cool. I'm just gonna bring out the live chat from YouTube out. So let's just do this. How do I detach it? Nope, that's not how you detach. Click the button, pop out chat. There we go. And then I'll just move that over there so we can get the screens cleaned up just for you all. And welcome to the show. All right, I'll see you over there on YouTube, Macromedia. Thanks for joining. Cool. I live in Colorado and there's a wildfire right now. Oh my God, are you okay, Derek? I hope showing this dragon with fire doesn't bring up bad memories and destruction to what you are witnessing. So I hope you are okay. Hope you're safe. If you can, I don't know too much about how to deal with forest fires, but be safe. Hello, Tecmo and Macromedia. Welcome on the YouTube platform. I see you there in your comments. Okay, so let's get back to business. One of the things I want to focus on is really working on that texture of the body. I want to have it look like scales. Oh, you said you love fire, just sucks that fire might have to go. Yeah, that does. That's not pleasant. Okay, so most of the scales are already kind of popping up nicely. But, oops, oh, my battery might die mid-tutorial. That will be hilarious. All right, so we had our friend Tyler on here last evening who said they wanted the dragon to be in this blood lake, and that is why we have this red color. Cool. So if I look at our reference image, we need some fire. We need something like that. So I have a couple of strategies that I might try, but I haven't tried before to make the fire. So I'm going to start off with a sphere. So we're just going to go ahead and bring a sphere into the canvas, and by default it puts it in the very center of the world. I'm going to move it out so it's going to be kind of this silver ball and in front of our character. Actually, I'll make it a little bit smaller for now. And what we're going to do is create what's called an alpha channel, and an alpha channel preserves transparency data. So I'm thinking if we cover this with a noisy transparency, we might be able to create like a fireball shooting out of the dragon's face dimensions. So let's get that started. We could try applying the blood red color on it just to see what that looks like. Give it a quick render pass. Okay. Tecmo on YouTube, how's the audio audio quality? Oh, Reese, welcome to the YouTube version of it. So if you, right now we're streaming live on YouTube for those of you that just joined here on Instagram. Cool, he's got a, all right, so the ball kind of works. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna duplicate that blood texture. We're inside of what's called the material editor inside of Cinema4D. And the way the material editor works is quite phenomenal. You add different colors, diffusion, luminance, transparency, reflections, environments, and fogs, and bumps, and normals, and alphas, all to make very unique and very, very interesting, powerful, whatever you call those, materials. So I need to make a fire material. So I have a few ideas on how to approach that problem. For starters, we do want it to be transparent, but let's have it refract not like water. Maybe let's have it refract more like ice. I don't know why. Let's see. So right now it's refract. It has the refraction index of water. We can change that later on. Let's see. Go to refraction, transparency. There we go. That's water. So you can. So if you've ever looked closely at any of these materials, you notice that when you shine light through beer, or if you shine light through a diamond, or an emerald, or ethanol, or glass, the way the light bends is uniquely different for each material. And you can recreate these effects inside of three-dimensional programs like this one, Cinema4D. So I'm going to kind of let the light pass through the object as if it was through ethanol. I don't have any particular reason why, I just think it might look like what I hope it will. Next I'm going to go to the alpha channel, and the alpha basically is an invisible channel, so I'm going to add some noise to the alpha channel. And so as you can see, that's what the material looks like. This is actually transparent, you can see through it, and the reason why it curves like that with that background is because it's refracting the light as it passes through the sphere. And it gives you a nice little preview up in the upper left hand corner. Oh, Reese on YouTube is saying we should try the refraction index of milk. Let's give it a shot. Let's go to ethanol and switch it to milk. It's a little subtle change. It's a little bit hard to see with the noise on it, to be honest. Actually, I'm going to remove my water texture. Just clear that off. So you can see this now. This is kind of like the refraction of milk. Just so you can see, here's beer. Here's ethanol. It's very subtle. Here's diamond. Wow, look how different diamond refracts light. So you can use this. Oh, what application are we using? We're using Cinema4D to make some dragon fireballs. And yeah, let me actually go to a different angle so you can see it a little bit better. There we go. That's what we're working on tonight. So we need to make some fire come out of the character's mouth. I'm going to do most of the fire inside of Photoshop, but I just want at least the start of fire here in Cinema4D so that we have some natural ways of light reflecting and whatnot. So let's go back to the milk layer. So we got milk, and then we're going to go to our alpha channel. We have our noise. Let's turn on our noise. Noise. Welcome Jevin88 and Jean and Idrish. We are streaming live on YouTube right now, so if you want to watch in full HD on your phone, you can go to the YouTube channel at the link in the bio, or you're welcome to stay here. You got choices. Welcome to the show. Today we're working on making this dragon. It's a three-dimensional dragon inside of the program called Cinema4D. Oh, Reese says milk was a bad choice. Let's go back to the transparency then and switch it from milk to diamond. And that's how it's going to refract light. So just so we can see a live example, I'm going to delete the blood texture off the sphere and apply our diamond. And you see that it kind of looks like it just disappears. And that's because it's not rendered right now. So if we go ahead and give it a quick render, we'll see what a diamond ball looks like. Oops, let me hit Command R is the shortcut for rendering. Yo, woke meme machine V2. Welcome to Creativity with DAIII Live. Today we're working on making some 3D art based off of an image. Wow, this is weird. So what we see is this is the ball refracting light as if it was made of diamond, but it's a perfect sphere. It's not, I like what this looks like, but it doesn't look like fire. So I might not go actually with the diamond route. I want it to look more like our reference image that we drew here in Procreate. Woke meme. Were you dead memes before? Oh, Tecmo on. Oh yeah, it was dead memes. Sick. I know you. Okay. So we got this sphere, and I want to make it look like fireball. So let's go ahead and jump into our color channel and just give it a little bit of color. A little bit of color isn't gonna hurt. Just go ahead, just throw some color on it. And I'm gonna go to the transparency, reduce the transparency strength so it's not super duper transparent. And look at that, we got a ball starting to come together. Tecmo on YouTube says, also I finally downloaded a trial of Cinema4D. I'm such a noob at it, so I don't know how to use it except the basics like how to make a sphere and smoothing and stuff. Tecmo, I am proud of you. Congratulations on having downloaded the trial version of Cinema4D. You just got to give it, you just got to dive in and just experiment. Trial and error. Test out a hypothesis and repeat, and you will find success. And there's actually a lot of great YouTube tutorials out there. If you want to get started, go to Grayscale Gorilla. They have some phenomenal tutorials with Cinema4D. That's how I started to learn it. And there's also iDesign by EJ. Those are two places I would strongly recommend if you're trying to learn Cinema4D the fastest as possible. Okay, let's go back to our alpha channel, and we're going to change the type of noise to electric. Look at that. Look at that noise. Let's keep changing it until it looks kind of like fire, and then we'll tweak it accordingly. You know, not gaseous. We got Luca. We have Naki. We have cranial. Actually, we might actually stick with the electric. I'm actually kind of happy with the way that noise is coming out. And then we can go into the global scale of it and increase it if we want to look like bigger strokes of fire. Let's give it a quick render, as we always do here. Taking a look, rendering a pass, and cool. All right, so it kind of has a fiery surface, but it's not actually shaped like fire. So we'll throw the sphere through what's called a deformer, and that will create some random geometry that might help make this look more like fire. And also we should put a light inside of the sphere. That will also help make it glow. So to add a light, we're going to go to this icon up here, and it just, if you click on it, it puts the light in the center of your screen. So we're going to have to move the light, and I'm just going to place the light inside of this crystal ball of fire. There we go. But you're not done yet. You got to make sure your light, which is I guess light 7. Uh-oh, battery's about to die on this device. Let me go ahead and charge it. The phone is going to bump around for a second as I try to plug a charger. Don't mind the bumps. Oh, let me flip the camera around. Hello and welcome to the show. Welcome to Creativity with DAIII Live. It's good to have you. We are working on Cinema4D, and I'm going to flip the camera back around now. Okay, here we go. Sweet. Here is our light. Light number 7. We select it, and then we go into the shadows. Let's turn on the shadows so that it casts the shadows. And also we're going to turn it into a volumetric light and give it a nice little warm orangish glow. This will make it nice and toasty. And cool, so now we got this volumetric light. This outer sphere is the radius of that light. So if you want to make the fire really glow, you can make it larger. And let me just go ahead and see what our render settings are right now. Okay, so the render settings are low. I want to just make sure we're doing that while we're still working on it. Tecmo says, I've only used it for for about an hour, and I like it so far, and I'm going to start to watch Grayscale Gorilla for Cinema4D. I can't read right now, but yes, Tecmo, that's the route. Wow, now that's looking like a fireball, giving it an orange glow. So now we just gotta warp this sphere so that it looks more like this fiery blast here. Again, I actually have not tried that before in Cinema4D, so let's learn together. What I'm thinking we should do is throw this. I'm gonna merge these two layers together. So our light and our sphere. We're gonna right-click on them and go to Group Objects. Group. There's so many layers in Cinema 4, or so many things you can do in Cinema4D. But let's just do the Group Objects. There we go. Testing 1 2 3. We want to make sure the audio is still live. So now we have our light and our whatever thing in here. We could make it shooting out lava into this lava floor. It might look kind of cool, but I do want to make this fire. At least give it a shot, but it's probably going to be difficult. So let's go. First of all, we need to increase the segments of that first sphere. So that you know how many segments we have if we turn on what's called Goro shading lines up in this corner here. Go to display, Goro shading lines. This will show you all the polygons that are involved with every single mesh that you bring into this program. So if we try to make this into fire, it would look really like low poly art, which might be the style you're going for. Low polygon count is what low poly stands for. But I want this to look like realistic fire. So that means we're going to need to increase the segments from 24 to something crazy. Look at that. Look how tiny those polygons are. This is going to bend a lot easier, a lot smoother because there's more polygons. It's going to have smoother bends and transitions. Oh, thank you, Steve4D. Totally butchered your name. My apologies. And now I'm going to go ahead and turn off Goro shading lines so that we can just get back to our quick shade. Cool. So we're just back in our dinosaur dragon looking thing. Now what we're going to do with that null object, I'm going to rename that layer. Oh, does anyone want to recommend a layer name for this? You have 10 seconds to come up with a creative name for that fireball thing. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we got no name, so I'm going to go with the first thing came to my mind, fireball. Fireballs with a Z for Dragon Ball Z. Oh, sorry, we got one from Tecmo on YouTube, says Ring of Fire. There we go. Let's change the name to Ring of Fire, and that is by Tecmo. Thank you, Tecmo, on YouTube for the name suggestion. Oh, and Johnny Cash. We'll have to name another layer Johnny Cash. Thank you. Cool. So now we have this Ring of Fire layer suggested by the naming convention of Tecmo, Macromedia. So what we're going to do now is throw this to a deformer. You're going to love this part. The deformer right here. Look at this. You can twist. You can melt. You can spherify and displace, and you can do so many different kinds of actions to a mesh with this thing. But I'm going to go with the displacer for starters. With the displacer, we want to make the, whoa, doing too much zooming in here. Welcome Wade on YouTube. Hello, hello. We're going to make sure the displacer is a child of the Ring of Fire by Tecmo. It needs to be a child or else the displacer will not work. Right now nothing happens because we actually haven't told the displacer to displace anything. Oh wow, thank you, Far From the Ocean. I'm also a fan of dragons. This is the reference image that we did last week in Procreate, and now we're turning it into a 3D dimensional dragon creature with fire ness. Yes, okay, so what we're gonna do, going to displacer, I forgot what I was doing. Oh, there we go. So we're gonna go into our shader, and we need to actually put some data into that displacer so that it knows how to bend. So right now we just use the default, and you can already see that it's bending and creating like an uneven surface of that sphere, which is already pretty cool, but I want to make it even cooler. So we got to go to the noise, turn it up. You can try some turbulence. Or actually, how about instead we change the type of noise? Maybe Naki might help. We gotta think of something that looks like fire. I think electric looked like fire before, so let's take a look. Okay, so that looks pretty cool. Now let's increase the global scale so that it's gonna increase the bend amount. And then we can increase the octaves. Lots of words. I fell onto a burning ring of fire by Johnny Cash, made the song Ring of Fire. Okay, fair enough. So now we got this kind of uneven ball. You could use this technique to make a realistic cell if you're trying to do some biology 3D renderings. But you know, it's at least an uneven surface. If we give it a quick render to see what we have, give it a quick render. It seems we must pay for your master classes. Yes, that will happen in the near future. So, but not yet. This is practice for me. Okay, cool. So we got kind of like a meteorite looking fireball, which is cool. This is interesting. Kind of looks like a radioactive meatball or sun, but the slimy glow on the bottom here with this shine is also quite disturbing. So it's like this liquidy ball of, I don't know, whatever this thing had to eat. It's gonna get so sick later. So what we're gonna do is we need to warp this quite a bit. So let's, whoa! The deformer is dynamic, so as I change the scale, it actually changes the deformer. That's cool. I learn something new every day in this program. Hopefully you do too. Alright, so I'm just rotating the meatball looking meteor thing. That's actually not coming out as we have it in the reference image. So let's see if we can throw some more bending deformers onto that thing. So for starters, I'm going to go back to our shader, go to our maps, go to our alphas. And again, if you're just joining here on Instagram, I'm streaming live onto YouTube, and you can go to the live stream of the YouTube of my screen by clicking the link in the bio. Welcome, Ich bin Brian, to the show. We're working on some dragons. Thinking about eating a meteor meatball. Just kidding. I'm trying to make fire, but it's harder to do in 3D than I wanted. So let's continue to increase the extremities of the 3D layer here, this meatball looking thing. So let's increase the global scale. We can increase some movement. We can increase the random seed. The random seed is the variable of noise. Oh, no, don't do that. That broke something. All right, we broke it. It's a broken meatball. It happens. It happens. Okay. Wade says, why can you see the top of the teeth when you render it? That is because I poorly merged the layers together. So there's actually two identical copies of the dragon's head, and they're overlapping each other. And one of them is set to be turned off in camera, but when I render, it thinks that I want to show both. So to fix that overlapping of the teeth that Wade pointed out on YouTube, what we need to do is select our dragon's face. Let me make sure this is the face. All right, cool. Yeah, it's the face. And we got to go into the face and see where the hidden layer is causing the problem. So the face is made up of lots of stuff. We have a twister former on it. We have a couple of null objects. We have an array that holds all their teeth. I'm trying to see where the problem occurs. For starters, the teeth aren't actually attached to the mesh. So that might be one of the problems, but let me see. This one might be it. So usually a red dot means hidden and a green dot means that it's good to go. So I think that one might be the problem. Let's just delete it and see what happens. Okay, so I deleted something. I'm going to give it a quick render and see if it fixed it or if it makes matters worse. Oh, you have to get to the footage tomorrow? Okay, sick. Uh-oh, I deleted the face. So now we have a faceless dragon, nothing but eyeballs and a set of teeth and a fiery meatball meteor in front of it. It's not a good day for that dragon, you know. It's just, you know, it knew something bad was going to happen if he ate that, and sure enough, his face disappeared. So let's go back. That was the wrong layer to delete. Let me see which one. Oh, I think I found the problem. I see the old mesh on top of the new mesh. Let me see if we can just move it out. There it is. Wow, oh, it could be a two-headed dragon now. Interesting. Let me give it a quick render with the two heads real quick, and just to make sure that that was the problem. We'll know once we give it a quick render past Wade. Hopefully that answers your questions. This is actually kind of odd. The face appears only in the preview mode, and then it disappears as soon as it starts to render. So that means I must have the camera setting turned to a poorly placed setting. Let me try it again. Let's give it a quick render. I'm trying to bring the dragon's teeth back together. For those of you joining on Instagram, I'm going to flip the camera around. Welcome to Creativity with DAIII Live. I'm your host, Don Allen III. We are in the middle of the tutorial. We're live streaming to YouTube as we speak and live streaming through Instagram. And if you want to see the YouTube one, you can by going to the link in the bio. So, welcome to the show. Let's continue on. All right, so the teeth are still messed up. And yeah, I'm sorry, Wade. I don't know how to fix that at this time. Yeah, I don't know. Usually, Wade, the truth is I usually just hide the problems that I make in these programs. If I'm planning on just making a still image of it, I don't care too much for the accuracy of every polygon and every mesh, and I leave a lot of errors, and then I usually cover them up with Photoshop. That's been the secret behind the posts on Instagram. But I do kind of want to resolve this, because it is going to continue to be a problem. So let me see. I think I moved the right head away now. Let's double check. I just don't know what's happening with that layer. Oh. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, Wade. I don't know. Oh, Wade says two-headed dragon, please. Well, okay, that actually might be very doable. Let's copy the Fapple Reese Hemming dragon. Reese Hemming named the layer yesterday, so let's give a round of applause. Reese D. Hemming for naming the dragon's head, Fapple dragon. So let's go ahead and duplicate that face array and copy it over. Oh no, the eyeballs. Oh, I know that. Sorry, it's fine. I see that the light source for the eyeballs wasn't parented to the head, but it's fine. Let's just do this, and then just go ahead and rotate our other dragon head. Oh, that's cool. double dragon. Whoa. Okay. Alright, so now we got 2 dragon heads, because 2 dragon heads is better than 1. It's an objective fact. Alright. Thank you. Oh, welcome to the show. We're working on some dragon sculpting. What's going on? Okay. So I guess the original image had 1 dragon head. I'm probably not going to do the fire inside of this program because I don't know how to do fire in Cinema4D well yet. I can do it better in Photoshop by compositing lots of different images of fire in different angles and then using that information. So I'm not going to do the fire here because it's going to take me too long to figure that one out. I'll have to figure it out on my own time, not your guys' time. So we got a 2-headed dragon now, and I'm going to delete this ring of fire just because I'm not going to delete it. I'm just going to hide it because it doesn't make sense to have. Actually, maybe we can keep it there because I like the way the light bounces. So we'll just cover it up in Photoshop. Cool. Let's move our reference image around town. Let's put it up here. Now what I want to work on is doing more of the work on the eyeballs. Whoa! Too far. Too close. I don't know. The 2-head dragon's kind of... 2 heads are kind of getting in the way. Let's see what we got here. The meatball. Yeah, I'm sorry. The 2-headed dragon's not going to work. The face is too messed up. I jacked up the teeth, and I don't know how to fix it without redoing the whole teeth array. I don't want to redo the teeth. But this thing looks super creepy. All right, now it's the grandpa dragon. It has dragon dentures, and it just doesn't have teeth anymore. It just it happens. Can't wait to see the Photoshop process. Photoshop is usually the easiest, sort of best part of 3D renders. Interesting. I agree. It's probably, Photoshop's one of my favorite programs. I feel like I know that program better than any program that I use nowadays. So it's a nice way to supplement existing projects. So what I'm doing is I'm going to change the colors of the eyes from a color to a luminance color. So actually, I shouldn't have done that. I'm just going to do the original. What this does is a luminance has a luminance value of light. So instead of just being a color, it will actually emit light from the source, which is pretty cool because then the object becomes a light, and then you can accent it with more lights. Since I want the eyeballs to glow, yellowish. There we go. All right, so now they should glow if we go into what's called a global, it's Fapple's lesser brother Farple. Reese, your jokes are on fire. Thank you for the fun commentary. All right, so we got the brother of, I'm going to rename the layer. So we got Fapple is this one, and this is going to be Farple. Did I spell that correctly? Let's take a look. The YouTube comment says Fapple's lesser brother Farple. All right, F-A-R-P-L-E. Let's do that for that layer so we don't forget. F-A-R-P-L-E. Cool. Very cool. What was I doing? Oh yes, we're going to turn on the global illumination. Now this is what's called an expensive effect, and expensive has nothing to do with price, but rather how much your computer has to pay for using it. I usually don't turn on global illumination till way down the line when I'm ready to export. But what it does is pretty phenomenal. It measures the way that light hits off of every object, and then it calculates how much the light should scatter based off of the angles and distances. The result is it usually makes things look very realistic with minimal effort. And now you know the secret. But as you can tell, it's going to take a lot longer to render because it's doing so many calculations right now. It's got to look at the light hitting the eyeball, and then what angle it should be when it hits the cheekbone, and then when that light deflects and hits the ground and then bounces back and hit the mountain. All of that data is being calculated right now. And so it does this kind of cool pixelated effect while it's measuring and it's calculating. Hello, Vlad Help Animals. Welcome to the show. We are live streaming to YouTube right now if you want to see this in full HD. But right now we're doing a quick render pass. Oh, the meatball actually looks kind of cool right now. The fire meatball. Alright, it's going to keep rendering, and it doesn't give you an accurate estimate of time, at least not on my machine. It just says how long it's taking to do the render, but it's not going to actually say how long it is. And then once it does all the calculations of the light bouncing, then it's going to do a spiral of compositing from around the center of the composition, which will probably be around where my mouse cursor is currently, and it'll kind of spin around. But it takes quite a bit of time. So yeah, what we can do while we wait for it to render is do a quick Illustrator tutorial. Illustrator. So one thing you can do in Illustrator that's pretty fun is you can combine multiple objects really quickly. So let's say you have two circles. No, you have three circles. You're trying to make a cloud. All three of these are separate until you bring in the magical Pathfinder tool. And then you select all three of your objects. Actually, I'm going to place this one a little bit higher, this one a little bit lower, a little bit higher. Select all three of your objects, and then you go to the merge or the unite path. And now those three circles became one circle. They are united. And then what we can do with that circle is we can grab a rectangle and drag it out right about here. And now with this, we can take both of these shapes, and instead of doing a unite, we can do a trim or a minus or a divide. I'll do a trim. The trim uses the first object to cut the second one, and now we have a dark cloud. So quick, you can make clouds with circles and path tools, and this is why Illustrator is awesome. Alright, let's see if the thing is rendered in that time. No, it still is not. It's still calculating. Yeah. Okay, let's check YouTube comments. Nope, nothing there. What we're doing is we're trying to bring drawings that were in Cinema4D, or sorry, drawings that we did in Procreate, bringing them to life inside of Cinema4D. But the render time is kind of ridiculous right now. So I don't know. Maybe I should add that to the thing. This is a live stream YouTube tutorial part. Okay. It's not fun watching this do that, so I'm actually going to cancel the render. It said, please read my questions. What are your questions? Depends on your questions. I will read things if they are appropriate and kind. Maybe I'll read some mean stuff. Those ones are fun too. Okay, so then let's see. You got this going here. Alright, so I turned off global illumination because that's just, it's too expensive on the machine right now. That's something I'll do when I leave it rendering overnight. But honestly, it looks like we haven't really done too much in this part. Maybe we can add some stars. I'll add some stars in the background. So to do that, we're gonna go to the background option. Oops, not that one. Click down, and we create what's called a new. You can use a physical sky. You can do a new sky. I chose the sky. By default, the sky just emits light, and that's cool. When I render this out, everything should have like a nice little, I guess, gray glow by default. But you can replace that sky texture with just about anything, including the galaxies and the stars. So one of my favorite galaxies right now is the Tarantula Galaxy. I love the Tarantula Galaxy. This is a picture of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to apply the Tarantula Galaxy to a new texture. So we'll click down here in the materials, double click, go to our color. Actually, just kidding. We're going to go to our, we'll go, I don't know. Let's go to color. We can try color first. And we'll load an image. And I'm going to load an image from my desktop of the Tarantula Galaxy. Oh. Okay. if there's questions, I'll read them. All right, here's the Tarantula Galaxy, and I'll hit open. There it is. It's applied to a sphere, and then we can apply that material to our sky. And so now a whole galaxy should render around our scene. So this is going to be helpful for compositing later. I don't know if I'm a fan of the double heads either. It's hard for me to. It's hard to do this. I'll hide it. I'm sorry. I didn't plan to composite this with two heads. Alright, it's kind of just something right around here. I want to see what this looks like with the... yeah, Blender's pretty cool if you're trying to learn 3D to get started. Blender's not bad. I tried Blender when I was in 6th grade, and I didn't understand what a Z-axis was. So, that didn't go over too well for trying to learn 3D programs. The Z-axis is depth. So, 3D without depth is just not... This face got messed up somehow. What was happening? Oh no. I don't know what's happening with the face. Okay. Wade Farple is in a better place. Whoa! What happened? Oh my god. I don't understand what's going on here. It's bothering me. Let's try this. Spline, no. The sphere, the Farple. Farple's dead. I'm sorry. Farple's gone. Oh, no, there's Farple. No, now he's gone. Okay, and then let's see. Well, I'm lost. And that is part of the fun. Yes. All right. Well, this was an ineffective tutorial at getting it to look better. Whoops. Sorry about that. So don't watch this live stream. It was a successful waste of your time, and I'm happy to be a part of your day. All right, so bummer. Yeah, I don't know what to do with the dragon, but oh well, hitting a wall here. Okay, let's just delete the sky. And maybe I'll do some color texture to the character. So what we'll do is we'll jump inside of the color, go to our texture, and we'll add a new layer to the color. So it just turns everything black. So now we got the yellow eyes black dragon. Pretty cool. Then what we do is in the layer we can add gradients. We can add color tones. We can add Fresnel. So I'm gonna add a Fresnel for starters, and then we can change it to that purplish color. And then go back into that orange color that we used in the original illustration. There we go. So now this has like a gradient that exists on its body. And then what we can do with that data is we can add another effect. Oh, not effect. I'm in a shader, and we'll add some noise. Good old noise. I think that's the thing that I end up using the most. And so we're going to use the noise to texture the dragon. So I'm going to try a noise like Hama. Whoa! Look at those lines. I kind of like that actually. And then we can adjust the brightness and the contrast of that noise to create kind of like a different unique patterns. Once we have a shape that we kind of like, we can up the scale, or we can lower the scale if we want the dragon to have more texture. So I'm actually lowering the scale. This is about 59%, 42%. That's too much. Let's go 79, 65. So we got this kind of spotted dragon creature on one layer, and then we have the color on the second layer. So we got to combine these 2 points by using the normal. So by default, all layers are set to normal. This is identical to what you'll see in Photoshop or many image editing software. And if you set your image from normal to subtract, it will now subtract all those colors out. You could set it to darken, and then it's kind of adding the two colors together. You can do overlay, which I'll probably end up using because it's kind of using the gradient and it's using a bit of that texture. And yeah, it's kind of just playing with the different options. And then once you have something you kind of like, right now we have like kind of like a glittered dragon right now on the texture. Oops, we went below the layer. We can render a frame out. Just gonna render a quick frame. Thank you, Reese Deming. There are no mistakes, only happy accidents. Aw, thank you, Reese. Alright, cool. So the texture didn't appear too strongly, which means we probably decreased the scale too much. So what we'll do is I'll increase the scale from 65% to 205. That's a lot. It's a big difference. Let's see if that shows up when we do the quick render pass as well. Rendering in 5, 4. Okay, so it didn't show up that much here either. Oh, actually I do see it. It has like little specks, little speckles of texturing. But I actually wanted the larger blotches of color. So let me see if I can increase the global scale even further. Like a lot, like 300 or 400%. And see if that fixes or adjusts anything about the current texturing of our creature. Okay, there we go. Now we're able to see them a little bit bigger. So I guess we're just gonna just keep amping it up. I'm gonna go to 700%. It's a big difference. There we go. Give it a render. Cool. Now we can start seeing these speckles. So this is a lot of trial and error. So I'm gonna do 1000. 1054 is now the size of the noise layer using the noise effect called Hama. Cool. Cool, I kind of like this one. Now we can go back into our layer and add even more stuff. So we got a texture of noise, we have a Fresnel. Let's add another one. You can add as many layers of noise as you want too, by the way, which is kind of cool. So you can go in here and add maybe a Ober noise. Whoa! Cool. And then we're gonna increase the contrast. And I'll set this one to add. So it's gonna add to the layer, or we can set to overlay. Let's see what that does. Give it a quick render. Welcome Art Goff Olga and Brizzolato 55. Whoa, now we have like a reddish glowing dragon. I kind of like this one a lot. I feel like you should change the color of the face because I feel the same color as the body. It is the drawing, so it shouldn't be in the 3D model. The face shouldn't be in the 3D model? What do you mean? I don't think I understand the comment. Let me reread it. I feel like you should change the color of the face because it should be the same color as the body. It is in the drawing, so shouldn't it be in the 3D model? Change the color of the face. The color of the face is using the same material as the body. Hey, what's up, Ilsva Prasad? Welcome to the show. We're working on a dragon right now. And I'm trying to come up with some solutions to some problems that we are facing here. One of them being the teeth. I don't know why, but right when we render it, the teeth get really messed up from the original set. I'm trying to understand why. Let me see what's going on. We got null objects, we have an array in there, we have another null object. What is this null object? Okay, that's just a tooth right there, and that's the symmetry. All those look fine. Where's the issue? Okay, this might be the issue. There's a subdivided surface of a sphere, of a red sphere, that's in there. I don't know if it's part of the face. So let's just delete it and then render and see what we get. Oh, it looks different though. Okay. Your next project is this. Yes? I think. I don't know. I don't know what my next project is. I guess this is it. Yeah. Yes. This is the next project. A colorful Um, I don't know. I'm getting frustrated with some of the geometry here. Why is there two dragon heads on top of one spot? Because I usually move that one and the other one breaks. And if I move this one, let's see if the other one breaks. Let's see. Testing, 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 testing. I just don't get it. There's some layer in here that's hidden and I can't see it, and it's a face layer, and it's really bugging me. What is this layer? Oh, it's the neck. Sorry for the confusion on this one, folks. Yes, it is. It's not as friendly as 2D animation. There's exponentially more variables and things to think about when you're working on a 3D model, which is fun. For instance, you can change the type of camera. If we jump into our camera over here, oops, let's jump into this camera. Right now we have it set to a default camera at 36 millimeters, but you can change the kind of lens. So here's a 18 millimeter, and as you can see, an 18 millimeter camera has a lot more warping going on, which is cool, right? But then you can change it even crazier. You can make it go from an 18 to a 9 millimeter camera, and then the warping is just ridiculous. It's like a fisheye lens now. And this is all in 3D. Whoa, trippy depth of field. And then we can reduce it back to something more standardized, like 50 millimeters. And then we have to zoom our camera way out to flatten the image back. But yeah, there's so many variables to think about in 3D rendering that you don't have to think about when you're designing a 2D illustration. So that's something important that you should know, be warned, before you jump into the 3D kind of careers. All right, I don't know what's going on with this dragon. Something's happening with the face. Maybe you could move the working head into the same position as the non-working one. I think that's a good idea, Tecmo. I'm just having troubles finding the layer that is the correct head of it. Because I do this thinking that it's that one, and then there's a second one that's underneath it, and then the two of them combined are the problem. So, give me 1 second of silence while I focus and try to find exactly where this layer is that's causing all these problems. All right, I'm looking in the Farple. Farple's hidden, so we shouldn't be able to see that. Yeah, we don't see the Farple layer, so that's fine. Let's turn it back on. Okay, so that's the other dragon head if we had it. Nope, it's back. Okay, let's hide that. And then we have this one. What's going on? We got the eyes. We have the symmetry. We have a subdivision surface around a sphere. That looks, everything looks okay. That's what's misleading. All right, so now everything's gone. Let's see what happens if we render this one out. Dear friend, may I know your qualifications? Sure. I'm a motion and graphics designer, and I've been doing design and animation and creative work for folks for the past, I guess, 10 years. My background was in Photoshop and 2D design, and then as time went on, I moved into video production. Those are my qualifications. Yes, something along those lines. But I think if you want to see my full qualifications, you can actually take a look at my formal portfolio website, which I'll type on the screen now, www.donallenii.com. DonAllenIII.com. Yes, so if you go to this website, that will show you my formal qualifications in a more appropriate manner. All right, take care, Wade. Thank you for joining. I apologize for not having this character better. Hopefully learn some cool stuff, at least about texturing at least. But I'm not happy with the way this one came out with this tutorial, unfortunately. So sorry for the time that was wasted. All right. Yo from Belgium. Welcome to California. Whoa, the second-headed dragon pops out only in the render. That's weird. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm getting confused. I probably need a crash as well. Let's see if we can just combine something. Let's grab the cone wings and then take the dragon around here. All right, take care, Prasad. Maybe we'll just do an animation of this thing. Let's see. Do something like that. All right. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for joining, and have a creative and productive day. Oh, actually, I kind of like this render. Yeah. I'll have to just fix the mouth in Photoshop. I don't know how to fix this in Cinema4D right now. I'm having too many problems with it, and it's slowing down the process. So we're going to move. This looks like a sun, so I'm actually going to move it into the sky. And then it'll just be, it'll live in the sky, because it already looks like it kind of belongs like in the sky. So let's just give it another planet up there. Might be kind of fun to add. And now we have our drawing. I'm actually going to delete that layer, or no, just hide it. Because I'm thinking we should just wrap this up. This is part 3. We need to get this up and out. We'll see if we can bring it into Photoshop in a second, and just do that right now in this tutorial. End up the night. Cool. This dragon's looking a little bit better. The sun's looking a little distracting, so I'm going to make the sun nice and tiny like it was before. Push it way back into the 3D space. This moon's looking cool. Let's throw on some ambient occlusion. That's just a shadow that forms between edges. It helps make things pop a little bit. Also adds to the render time. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna actually just cover the mouth of the character with fire. And then no one will have to know the problems that are hidden behind the face. Okay. Cool. Then I'm going to move this glowing light here, and we're going to use the inverse square law so that it turns up brighter as it gets closer. That's in the ring of fire layer. Inverse square law, where are you? I think it's under details, fall off, inverse square. So this just makes a light brighter as it gets closer to an object, and then it gets exponentially less bright the farther it is by each doubling of distance. And the reason why we're adding it is because that's where the fire is going to be hitting, is somewhere around this ground. So I want to make sure that it's glowing intensely around that area. So at least that will be accurate, even though we're not doing the fire in this program. We'll do the fire in Photoshop. Okay. Cool. Let's just see what the light's looking like. All right, that works. I might just tilt the teeth up a little bit if it's possible. Let's give it a slight tilt, and maybe that can fix it. Maybe, we'll see. All right, welcome to Creativity with DAIII Live. We are streaming live into YouTube right now. If you click the link in the bio, and you can watch the full tutorial on how we got here. This is part 3. This is part 3 of the tutorial, and the teeth are messed up in the front there. Too bad. We're just going to cover it up with fire. That's how we're going to fix that problem. Looks like the live stream on Instagram is going to be ending in the next minute and a half, so if you are still interested in watching the Photoshop part of this tutorial, stay tuned. We'll just get into the Photoshop pretty soon, and I'll just export it as it is, and we'll do some work in there and see if we can remedy some of these situations, some of these problems that we were faced with here today. Cool. Cool. And also, since we're not using global illumination, I'm going to turn off the luminance channel here. There we go. So then those won't glow anymore. We'll just make them glow in Photoshop. Oh no, what happened to the mouth? I got all messed up. Let's try it again. Yep, the process of 3D rendering is a lot of just A/B testing. Seeing if something works and then trying it again and again and then again. Okay. Cool. All right, let's give this a render. Let me see if I'm actually going to delete. I'm going to delete this light. Where is it? Yes, just delete it. Goodbye, light. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Oh, so I can delete this. Where does it go? Alright, I don't know why, but it won't let me delete this light, so I'm just going to use the light now. Just put it over here. Initially I wanted to use that light as a fog, but we can just do the fog in Photoshop. This is like when people say, oh, we'll fix it in post. Oh, and these are the glowing eyes. So I guess we'll push this over here. Cool. Alright, so let's actually export this so that we can bring it into Photoshop. I'm going to go into the output and change this to something much larger, like let's do 1500 pixels by another 1500 pixels. I'll leave it at 72 dpi. Looks good. Oops. Let's do it 1500 again. I want to just do the current frame, not the animation. PSD, let's do a PNG of it. And we'll call this something. Dragon. Wonderful name there. Easy to remember. We're going to save this just to our pictures folder for now. Oh, it's my friend who got married. Oops. Cool. And there, and then we'll go to our multipass, anti-aliasing, just turn up the quality just a little bit. You can change these manually if you want to get really into the nitty-gritty. All right, good night, Tecmo. Thank you for joining. No worries. This was a long one, long stream. All right. I think that's good. Let's render it. Oh, I think I forgot to preserve transparency. So let's see if we can. Yeah, we need to export the alpha channel. So let's cancel this export. Oh wow, that's actually pretty fast. Yes, cancel. And we got that. Cool. Let's try rendering it again. Where is it? Render. There we go. All right, so it's just doing this circle-ish render, and we'll see what we get. Hopefully it's enough to work with in Photoshop. That's the goal here. All right, so for those of you that kind of skipped towards the end of the video, I'm just gonna play this back. Today's goal was to bring our two-dimensional drawing back into more of a 3D world. Took a little while to get it out to here. Took over an hour or so. This is our part 3 of Procreate to Cinema4D. I think I want to try to finish this one up though, so we have something to post up tomorrow. So let's continue on. Actually, we should probably call that the end of the tutorial. Oh, thank you, Reese. Alright, so this is our dragon creature now. It's kind of rendering out in HD. Just each little section by section. And yeah, let's see what we get. Cool, the reflections are coming in there, and the I guess the blood water or the lava, whatever you would like it to be. And yes, the teeth are messed up, but we're gonna just cover this. So actually, while we're rendering this out, it's almost done with the render. I'm gonna find some images of fire to work with. Why can't I open this up? Oh, there we go. Google Images. Cool, and we're just gonna find some fire. And I like to switch the settings to search for large fire. Definitely work with some of that. Cool, and just drag this to the desktop for now. I'm just going in here, getting some fire. Now I'm going to switch on the ones that you're allowed to use. So let's do ones that are labeled for reuse with modification. Oh, this one's really nice. Let's grab that one. Actually, I've done some photography of fire at this event before. Maybe I could use some of those. That was kind of fun in the past. Just kind of looking through. What I'm looking for specifically is fire that has a pretty good contrast of color with the shadows and highlights. Because if there's not a good contrast, it's going to be difficult to isolate the fire from the layers. But with it, we'll be all set. Will be more than set. Cool, I think that's enough fire. Let's take a look back here. Alright, so this thing, it looks like it's done. Done with its render. So let's see where this is. Let's see reveal, show in the file explorer, and we'll bring this into our next program. Actually, you know what I think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna end this live stream and then start another one right now to do the Photoshop part, so that if someone just wants to watch the Photoshop part, they can. So that's what we're gonna do. So just to reiterate, thank you so much for watching Creativity with DAIII Live. It's been a pleasure having you all. Today's goal again was to get this thing to look more 3D, and I think we got there. I think we're getting there. This was part 3. This concludes part 3 of the Procreate to Cinema4D, and in the next part, we're gonna take the Cinema4D and bring it into Photoshop, but I haven't made the thumbnail for that yet. So thank you so much for watching Creativity with DAIII Live. If you want to see more content like this, I encourage you to check out my Instagram at DonAllen3rd, or this is Don Allen 3rd, Don Allen III, whatever, or use the hashtag DAIII Live. And again, thank you so much for watching, and have a creative and productive day.